And with voter fatigue being such a real thing, I think there's no way in hell that Nikola Jokic wins his third consecutive MVP like his counterpart, honky Larry Bird. Welcome back, Hoop Heads. It's Dash and Hoop, and today we're bringing you another NBA video. We're looking at the preview and everything to keep your eyes open for this upcoming NBA 2022-23 NBA season. You know, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Everything every YouTube video has ever told you. But hey, I'm just a kid trying to make it out here in the basketball world, so help your boy out. Today we'll be going through a few categories to help us organize, what we're going through and look for in this season, see what kind of patterns have been forming from previous years coming into this year. The categories that we'll be looking towards is the narratives, the sleepers, the fall-offs, new calls, and predictions. First off, we'll start right into it with the narratives. We got our boy Joel Embiid, the 280-pound behemoth 7-foot center, coming into his 7th season of playing basketball with the Philadelphia 76ers. And let me tell you guys, he has the MVP right now, but is not the guy that I would choose to win MVP this year. Now let me break it down for us. I know it doesn't make too much sense, but what I mean by this is that JoJo has the masses on his side up to this point. Being that last year he put up a filthy, absolutely disgusting 30.5 points, about 12 boards, 4 assists, while shooting a phenomenal 50% from the field, he's probably winning any of the year if I'm being honest. And with voter fatigue being such a real thing, I think there's no way in hell that Nikola Jokic wins his third consecutive MVP like his counterpart, honky Larry Bird. But anyways, everybody else also saw the additions of PJ Tucker, who I think is a true winner. I know that's a little controversial with some people. And the Anthony Melton, who we'll talk about a little later in the video, but great 3-and-D guy right here. And we also have to look forward to the hopeful development of James Harden taking care of his body. Now, I think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid once again this year. I've been disappointed by Harden. Don't expect a 2018-2019 season of Harden. More of like the first year he was on the Nets, averaging about 20-some odd points and getting those 10 to 11 assists. That's the Harden we need for Joel to win this MVP if he really does have a chance. But next on the narrative list we're looking at, let's have a little gander at the Boston Celtics. Now, let me start off by saying, wow, holy hell. Well, my team is Phoenix, so, I kind of do feel you guys, but damn, I'm so sorry about the combo of the injuries. And I think something happened with the former coach, Ime Udoka. Don't quote me on that. But there'll be a lot of eyes on the Eastern Conference Finals winners last year. Someone in particular to take a look at is Jaylen Brown. This man's name was involved in a lot of trade rumors with Kevin Durant this year. So, maybe this is finally the time where the tension between him and Tatum finally build up. Where there's, all the talk on social media. NBA players have social media too. They hear who's the alpha on this team, especially with Jaylen having, in my opinion, a much better finals appearance than his boy JT. But, maybe it does the opposite. Maybe it lights a fire under Jaylen Brown, gets them to all connect together, especially with the Udoka situation. Maybe it brings us together. And lastly, for the Celtics, I hope this isn't the case because I'm a big fan of the man, but we have to take a look out for 36-year-old Al Horford. He ain't no LeBron, no 38, averaging 30 points. Al Horford could have a sudden decline, and that would be very detrimental to the Celtics squad, considering that he absolutely dominated the finals, looked like the main guy out there that wanted it the most out of everybody on the floor. And especially with Robert Time Lord Williams being out at the beginning of the season, it could be a sorry season for the Celtics, but you have enough talent on the squad. Now on to my home team. We're looking at the Phoenix Suns, more specifically DeAndre Ayton. We saw his reactions, obviously everybody in the media day. I would use words like uninterested, nonchalant, disassociated, describing on how he felt about the season. And I would agree that that's a bad sign, obviously, but if we do look at the more recent situation during the preseason, we were absolutely feeding DeAndre Ayton the ball. Which is something how he's complained and bitched about, so we're finally doing it. Monty's stepping up to the plate. There's also reports that DA and Monty have repaired that relationship with each other, so thank God. We also saw Mikal getting the ball a lot more, which is going to prove to be an amazing sign, since we looked absolutely lost against the fat white guy in Dallas last year when Booker couldn't get his shots off. They were doing a lot of double, triple teamings, a lot of scheming towards him. and when CP3 absolutely and consistently butchers his goddamn hamstring, we're going to need those guys to step up. And a little side note to mention that 36ers game, those dudes were honestly just shooting the shit out the ball. That's going to happen. I know it was a laughing stock, haha, we lost to the 36ers, a little knockoff team. But I don't think it means much in my opinion. Now, quickly, I just wanted to fire off a few things for the rest of the narratives part. We could definitely see the T-Wolves squad make a huge jump in their win totals this season with the addition of Rudy, most hated player in the league, Gobert, and the development of Anthony Edwards, who I'm a big fan of, his game. Potentially top 3 seed? Hot take, is it? I don't know. We all also love to forget about Dame time. I mean, nobody's expecting a finals appearance from the man or even a deep playoff run. But, expect that squad to knock off maybe someone towards the bottom, especially a team with an injured star in that play-in. With the development of Anthony Simons, a healthy Nurkic, and Shaedon Sharpe showing some great flashes during this offseason, we could see something special in Portland. And for the last part of the narrative spot, we could see a potential MVP push from my boy, the man himself, Zion Williamson, self-proclaiming he's running and jumping the highest he ever has in his life. Holy hell, what does that even mean? And who's to say he can't average more than 27 points per game on 60% field goal efficiency like he did his sophomore year? You know what I'm saying? And to wrap it all up, my favorite stat to tell people when they're looking over the edge of that Zion hype train, they want to jump off, I always tell them this. Joel Embiid's first 3 seasons in the NBA, games played, 31. Zion, 85. I'll leave it at that. Next, we're going into the sleepers section of the video. The squad I believe is going to make one of the largest leaps in their cursed franchise history is the Sacramento Kings, with last year finishing as the 12th seed with a record of 30-52. We saw glimpses of the Sabonis and Fox collab. You know what I'm saying? I like what I saw. I know it didn't result in many wins necessarily. I mean, more wins in that second half after they made that trade in comparison before. That's also not mentioning with the addition of the 4th overall pick, Keegan Murray. The 6'8" power forward is a phenomenal addition to the squad, boosting Fox's effectiveness in transition with his speedy ability to push the ball up the court, being able to rim run or get a quick transition 3. I'm a big believer in Murray, and he's also a capable defender on a squad that could very much so use one. Don't be surprised if this squad sneaks in and knocks out, like I was saying with Portland, knocks out a little squad towards the bottom of the standings. My next sleeper is out on the East Coast, the other franchise that's known for being cursed as hell, the New York Knicks. With the signing of the only 6'2" guy who pivots 84 times in the paint, pump fake 16 and gets you to bite on that last one. We're talking about Jalen Brunson, and I see a big resurgence with him in the Big Apple. Once again, as a Suns fan with a guy who has directly dealt with this man, I think he could show flashes of reviving that organization. Looking at the fall-offs, firstly, we'll get the quick one out the way. Everybody's favorite progressive and inclusive franchise, the Utah Jazz. Yes, I know it's just some of the fans, not the entire franchise, but it is going to take a while for you guys to beat the racist allegations. But all I'll say is I'm a Colin Sexton fan, but if he's the best player on your squad, man, that's one hell of a way to get yourself Victor Wembanyama. That's all I'll say. The other squad that we might have to look for in the fall-off category, and I'm sorry, King of the Fourth Quarter, Kenny, basketball GOAT, your Chicago Bulls are here. With one of my favorite players since he was a senior, being out with a knee injury, Lonzo Ball. I see the squad struggling mightily, especially on the defensive end. They have Caruso back, which is a big help. But, man, I think the importance of Lonzo could be underestimated, bringing phenomenal defense, court vision, leadership, especially to a score-heavy duo like Levine and DeRozan. I don't see them beating anybody good, kind of the same pattern as last year. Little side note, does everybody remember those Chino Hills teams? That was a great time for basketball, 3 brothers going off. But anyways, I hope that they prove me wrong. Maybe DeMar has another MVP-like season. We'll see. Now, a little new category we're calling the new calls. The last topic before we get to everybody's favorite, the prediction section. We have 2 new rule changes effective immediately during this offseason. The first one is simply a heavier enforcement of the bench for excessive celebrations of players standing up for too long, blocking the view of the fans. This is attributed to Tio Pinson, a G League 2-way player of the Dallas Mavericks. He helped the Mavs accumulate $175,000 worth of fines this season. So let's call it the Pinson rule. Shout out for him for his role in making this a new rule in the league. The other more important rule change, and I felt a lot playing even just dumbass 2K, is the take foul penalty. I could redo the definition, but in layman's terms, the call rewards one free throw and a possession of the ball if no play is made on the ball in regards to a foul when a transition opportunity is advanceable or immediately after change possessions of the ball. Now that was supposed to be the easy definition. The long one is complex and hard, or maybe I'm just stupid. Either way, I see where the league is coming from, as these type of rules do benefit more exciting transition plays. My only worry is that there might be a correlation between injuries and the new rule change, but we'll see. We'll see. Could be more exciting for the league. Now on to everybody's favorite. We got the award predictions. On to our first prediction. I'm going to go with the Rookie of the Year, which I think will be a landslide of Paolo Banchero. Kevin O'Connor said it best. It's as simple as this. Every time Banchero is out there on the floor, he looks like the guy to watch. Just bigger, stronger, faster than everybody out there. Especially with Chet, my personal favorite prospect. Love seeing him out of Gonzaga. Out for the entire year. I don't see anybody else in a situation quite as well as Paolo to blossom. And it's just simple as that. Moving on to potentially the second most predictable award winner is Tyler Herro, going back-to-back with the Six-Man Year award. Second place to K-Love last year wasn't even close. With that honorary bench position, I don't see how this isn't Tyler Herro's to lose. Coach Spo utilizing Herro to be that instant offense straight off the bench gives Tyler the keys to taking over that award for many years to come, in my opinion. My honorable mention that I do think has an opportunity of maybe stopping Herro from becoming the modern-day Lou Williams is D'Anthony Melton, as previously mentioned in the video. I think this man brings some straight offense and amazing defense to a second unit squad. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. On to the Coach of the Year award, we have Mike Malone for the Denver Nuggets running away with the award. Every year, we as fans love to throw this award at whoever has the biggest jump in the win column and seating position. And with MPJ coming out hot in that preseason, and apparently with the goddamn robotic back, Jamal Murray getting his legs under him, why can't Jokic lead this team to 60 wins? Let's not have us all forget how good of a fourth option player Aaron Gordon is as well, being a viable option that can be a vertical threat, a great cutter for Jokic's passing. And I also do think we could still see a glimpse of bubble Jamal Murray. If y'all don't remember, him and Donovan Mitchell were absolutely going at it. Murray looking like Michael Jordan reincarnated. So we'll have to see with the Nuggets there. I do think it is Mike Malone's award. Some of the honorable mentions include J.B. Bickerstaff for the Cleveland Cavaliers and Chris Finch of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Both squads have an up-and-coming stars on their team with the addition of current stars. But like I said, I believe this is Coach Malone's at this point. Next, we have a candidate for Most Improved Player Award, and I think a lot of people won't like it, but it is Anthony, look what this world done come to, Edwards. Unfortunately, the fact is, Ja winning the award last year kind of moved the bar and expectations as to what a Most Improved Player is. With the man going into his third NBA season, talking about Edwards, looking like he has the attitude and athletic ability to have the ceiling of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Yes, I said it. I sense an explosion of a season from Ant. With an increase in literally every single stat category, I see them jumping even more with Gobert easing the defensive load on him and, securing those defensive rebounds in order to get his insane athleticism to great use in transition. I could see someone like Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers to make a leap. And then onto the side of the ball that I think 25% of NBA fans actually care about. We have Bam. I promise, Jimmy, I promise I'll take more threes this year out of bio. Man, it seems like Bam should have already won this by now, right? I do get it. Rudy running away with the award 3 times. Is he as good as Ben Wallace in them? I don't know. And the league falling in love with the Boston Celtics that second half of the season. Feeling a little spicy giving the award to a point guard. The second time they've ever done that, and I believe it's been over 25 years since they gave it to GP. With Bam being able to legitimately guard 1 through 5, you quite literally have the best big in the entire league for that defensive end. We all know that this is a spam, high pick and roll heavy league, and Bam is perfect for it. He has the IQ and athletic ability to be able to switch, to be able to drop, whatever you need from the man. If you need him to hedge, he's there. But lastly, we can never forget the Frenchman might take away the award this year, winning his 4th Defensive Player of the Year. I wouldn't be surprised. And lastly, we have a dude that I love and hate to talk about, especially as a Suns fan. After this season, I believe he'll be an elite company, being 1 out of 9 players to ever have 3 or more regular season MVPs. He's a modern day Shaquille O'Neal who actually likes practice. It is Giannis, no ice, half Sprite, half lemonade, Antetokounmpo. Look, if we're keeping it a buck, I think he should have won it last year. Let's go ahead and take away all the box score stuff and watch a Bucks v anybody. Who is doing everything on offense? Who's trying the hardest out there? Who's protecting the rim the best? One of the most important aspects of the league. Who's ending possessions with the rebounds? And who's keeping possessions alive with rebounds? Now then, looking at a macro scale, we've seen what he can do all a full season with teammates injured, and this man is still eating in his prime. Giannis is a likable personality. If he hasn't already, he will definitely take the torch from LeBron as the face of the league. With Giannis continually improving his mid-range game season by season, go ahead and let me know who on God's green earth is topping that. And I know as a young fans, we're always comparing, contrasting our group of guys versus these dudes in the past from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on. But I think, and I have had this take for a long time now, that Giannis, and we'll throw Luka in there, are the only dudes who legit challenge Michael Jeffrey Jordan as the best basketball player of all time when it is all said and done. I mean, look at him. He's a 27-year-old who is still hungry, and then with the help of Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and friends, Giannis, I believe, will eat this season. Well, that's about it for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was the first ever video of the Dash and Hoop YouTube channel, so things will get a lot better. We're getting some microphones going on. We got some lights ordered over here. Expect big things coming this way. Thank you so much for watching, friends. You know how I feel.